Welcome, everybody. You ever feel like your life is just too complicated? There's too much family drama going on. You don't know who you love sexually and who you're related to. Sometimes it's both. Welcome to the attic. It's VC's Pieces. Welcome to this episode of VC's Pieces podcast. I am one of the hosts of this podcast, Katie.
I am one of the other hosts, Tia.
And today, we're getting struck by lightning.
Which apparently is rare.
I mean...
But painful.
It's like a lot of things in life. A lot of things in life.
Where
are we going with this? I don't know where I'm going with this.
We just had waffles.
Yeah.
So I guess we got waffle brain.
I choked on my own spit a minute ago.
Yeah, maybe we'll leave that in because it was pretty funny.
We'll see how long we blamble on.
Oh, yeah. Maybe it could just be like a fun cut moment.
We'll have to get a trim job.
I'll take the Brazilian.
So,
I will not.
Here we do be with the second novel in the thrilling Hudson.
Fucking thrilling.
Series.
And that's what they use for all of them.
Did they all say the blank number in the thrilling?
Yeah, spellbinding.
Oh,
Yeah.
Number of the adjective.
Yes.
Also, I'm waiting for her to start using Hudson as a surname. I'm wondering if that's going to happen. I'm wondering.
Well, yeah.
Because...
Well, no. But I think I can say this. Like, there's a moment at the end of the book where she's just like, all I want's my name. So...
okay, here's the back. Back of flapping. Flap it up on your face. Oh, yep. Rain has searched for a place to call home, but there's nowhere to hide when the night sky lights up with terror.
What?
Is this a horror novel?
This one kind of was.
Torn from the embrace of her poor but loving family, honk. Rain Arnold, I know, now lives surrounded by opulent riches, but feels more like an outsider than ever before. Her heart's true passion, the theater that she just discovered, may prove to be her salvation as she embarks on a journey to unmask a legacy of long-buried family secrets. Enrolled in one of London, England's most prestigious drama schools, Rain is sent to London to live with her great-aunt, Leonora. It's right here, Lenora. Lenora.
Oh my god! Shit, guys. That's not how
You've
it's
been
spelled.
fucking up lately.
No. In the rest of the book, I swear.
Anyway,
I swear.
Lenora of the renowned Enfield family. Their estate is breathtakingly austere.
Brings in breathtakingly.
It'll take your breasts off. Ew. Oh my god, breathtakingly. Oh my god.
Yoink.
Pluck. I want to use this now. I'm going to walk into like a function and be like, the hors d'oeuvres are breathtakingly divine.
Yeah, do it.
Hashtag breathtakingly. Filled with antiques and a long storied history. But something isn't right. Rain hears footsteps in the night and the high-pitched laughter of a little girl.
What? She does not. I'm sorry, but she does not.
Spoiler alert. She sees strange lights in rooms that are supposed to be closed off. And everything about the place, the air, the silence, even the somber household staff is as cold and soulless as a museum. Behind the icy sheen of wealth and privilege lies something unspeakable. Something that could turn Rain's most precious dream into an inescapable nightmare.
For period ellipses.
Do you know what that stands for?
What?
Wah, 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 wah.
Oh. Okay. All right.
So, is that supposed to be Pogs?
I think so.
So I hope you know and you see the back flap has
Step back.
Fucking A. Has Rain on the cover, like stripping and crying like Coco and Fame. There's the older man's white hair. It's great Uncle Richard that we know. There's a woman in a little nightie, baby doll nightie with a lollipop.
And a shit haircut.
And like a bald man pressed up against the window. So that's how we open. Let me tell y'all that we are reading each other's notes It's a fun event, but I feel unmoored, but I'm leaning into it.
Yeah, that was an idea that I came up with
Why
because
not?
we used to not share our notes, and then we started sharing our notes, which I think gives us more of a flow, if not perhaps makes it longer.
It's a heavier flow.
Yes, heavier flow. It's got like the 4 little droplet emojis.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's been so long since I bought period products. I have no idea. IUDs, everybody.
The disc. I love it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So yeah. So I started in the prologue. You did not. So here I go, B.
Yes. So I don't really remember what kind of why the prologue was convoluted.
It was just like it's a lot to get to.
Okay.
I was just thinking about it. Like she's like, all right, so the projects, and then a rich, and here's why, and then all this and then there was mama, and you gotta like set up the poor thing, and then you gotta set up thing of. And the mom, but I'm also secret. There wasn't a thing, and also daddy somewhere. I was like, this like got a lot to get to.
I did make one note about the prologue there.
Hearing whispers in the house, like so many other protagonists.
Yeah, before she left, she was like, all of a sudden, I've been hearing whispers in the Hudson estate.
There's a lot
of whispering fucking houses.
Yeah.
Get that bitch a megaphone. What does she want?
Get that little lady from the Poltergeist.
The house has been cleared.
Yeah, I mean, she can tell you what the house wants.
Yeah. I want to know where all these houses have a lot to quietly say, apparently.
Whisper.
I mean, I feel. Can we check on this?
I promise we can.
Because I wrote Lenora multiple times.
Yeah. I did at first, and then I noticed that it wasn't.
Maybe it changed because that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, I feel like I looked back at like one of the first ones though. It's hard to find. Doody da da do.
So
You are a sassy child.
So yeah, so she's gonna go live with great aunt Lenora and attend the fancy acting school as was the setup at the end of the last. Rain will live like one of their domestics.
Wow, sorry, neither of us wrote this down, but I just saw this. Did other birds look down at the crows because they were black?
Why would you write that, Niederman? Why?
Leonora.
Honk.
Yep.
I'm probably still gonna call her Lenora.
That's okay.
Okay.
I'm down with it. Stop putting it away. We might need it for reference.
Okay. Yep. So you say that her relationship with Grandmother Hudson is your most fave.
It is my most fave because they're both very like, nah.
Can I tell you that I didn't? I feel like I didn't get that vibe, and it's only because it was like stated multiple times that they were like, I don't know. She was so. I don't know, off-putting, mean.
Really? I don't feel that at all. I feel like in the first book it was sort of established that she's kind of over, like her kids both kind of ended up sucking, and also they never visit her. And so she was just like, oh, cool, another person. This is like, now I gotta take care of my like shit daughter's situation or everyone's gonna be awful. And then very quickly there were those like hints of a smile where she was like, okay, like I think we could get along. But you know, she's trying to protect herself too. Because her kids are like money grubbers and never fucking visit her.
I don't know if Megan's a money grubber.
Well, she's still kind of fucking
She
daft as shit. Okay. So yes, that's how I feel about it, is that they kind of recognized in each other that they were like strong and lonely.
Strong and lonely?
Yeah.
Okay, you're really all about Jake and this cult, man. You got a lot of questions. Because you're like, what's the horse's show name? What's its racing number? Like,
yeah, so Jake,
where does he run?
Jake he gets a horse at the end of the last one, a colt. But then at the end of the book, he says, you gotta see her. That's a filly, my guys. That's not... But anyways, he names the horse Rain, but there's no way if this is a racehorse that the horse is just named Rain.
No, you have like
because
a show name and a call name.
700,000 names for a race horse. So I was wondering what the whole horse's name is, and I hope we find out eventually.
I definitely was confused. Like, I feel like there was a point, I don't obviously remember at this time, like, does everyone know about Rain in the sense that, like, Victoria was going to do a blackmail and, like, that...
But she didn't.
She
was
just supposed to pretend that whole scene didn't happen?
No,
Okay.
I think what it is.
Oh, I remember now. Okay, because at the end of that scene in the last book, she was like, oh, if my mother knows about the blackmail, she'll do something else out of spite. And then I was like, but I feel like Grandma Hudson mentioned a black. I don't know. It was like a weird.
She
thing.
was threatening it because she wants the will to be changed. Yeah. I think that was it. Like the only people who know are obviously Grandmother Hudson, but now Megan knows that Victoria knows.
Yeah.
Like, Victoria was the only one who found out, and she's just being a fucking dip cunt. Like, just trying to be like, haha, you better change it. That's what it was.
Rain is an OWP.
Yeah, like, I think when she's going to the airport or something, she was just like,
I'm an orphan with parents.
Yeah. She's just like, oh, I have parents. Because, her mom, Megan, is just like, I don't fucking know. And she knows she's pretty sure her dad is alive somewhere, but she does not have them as parents.
Rain to Grandma Hudson. Don't you like your sister?
Yeah, and she's like,
she said,
no.
Of course not.
Yeah, I love it. I love this bitch so much. She's like, I'll do whatever I want.
So I think we're talking about the same thing here, maybe, because you said page 18. No, okay. Oh, you actually wrote Great Aunt Lenora and Great Uncle Richard lost their 7-year-old daughter Heather to a heart defect, and Victoria really do huge bitch into every room.
Yeah.
And then you said page 18 made me cry a little, and I wrote Goodbye Hug, Olivia to Melody vibes, but nicer / more reciprocal. And page 18 was like their goodbye scene.
Yeah, it was really. Oh god. So first, Victoria like huge bitches into the room like before Rain leaves. God. So Rain is saying goodbye to Frances, Mrs. Hudson, Grandma, Gma, and she's just like, God, I had to say goodbye to so many people this year. She asked Grandmother, are you going to take better care of yourself? She said, do I have a choice? All these doctors poking their noses in my business? She's like, no. She's like, then you've answered your own question. Stop worrying about me. I'm an old lady. Worry about yourself, about becoming someone of whom we would all be proud, including your mama, she added. Because I feel like a lot of people don't acknowledge...
Right, the parent...
Letitia.
Yeah. Right, the parent who would raise you. Yeah. Like in Dawn, like whatever her fucking name was, sorry.
Yeah.
Never is like acknowledged.
Yeah, like, yes. And I really, really enjoyed that because also, Grandmother Hudson is just like this rich bitch and like almost immediately... like, respected the fact that Letitia took care of Rain even though she wasn't hers, and that Rain loved her back, because she didn't have that relationship with her kids. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, I don't know. She was just like, I'm a fucking old lady. Get out of here.
Rain thinks it's sad that Jake doesn't have any kids, and you make sure to notate sometimes people don't have kids, and that's just their life choice.
Yeah, I thought that was a weird thing. She's like, oh, it's so unfair that people who have love to give don't have a bunch of kids. It's like, do you know if he said he didn't have kids? Like, that's kind of not your place to be upset about it.
That's very presumptuous. They get all the way to the airport before it's like, oh, is this your first? Because she's like, I don't really know what to do.
Yeah, this big old freaking airport. We don't even know where it is. JFK? Is it? Are they in New
Dulles? Like IAG. Dulles is in like
Dulles?
Yeah, it's in the Washington D.C. area. Or Reagan.
Sounds like an idiot.
Washington.
Officer Dullard. It's Dollard. It's a misprint.
So it's this whole, like, we're getting there and we're going, and Jake's like, I'll drop you off. And she's like, what do I do, even?
And he's like, oh my God, is this your first flight? But she kind of has that same feeling. She was like, on the way there, I realized I had never flown to a different country, and more so,
and also
/ never on a plane.
Yep.
So yeah, he was just like, I don't know, I'm gonna drop you off. This person's gonna do it. But
he's like, just go here and go there.
And then apparently it's very easy.
It's very fine.
Oh my God. But she's in the airport.
When she gets to London town.
Oh, yeah. So she's on the plane. Nothing happens, really. Nothing of note. She gets to London and she's just like, oh my God, there were like Egyptians wearing Egyptian clothes.
Traditional garb.
And like Muslims wearing Muslim clothes. And Africans wearing African clothes.
And even...
there were so many Orientals. At this point, we didn't really use that word. I looked it up, and it's just like, dude, Niederman, like, rugs, not people. That's the only place you can use that. But I just thought it was, like, I don't know, so archaic to throw in there.
Yeah. Was it they in like a rice patty hat? Like, what did she mean?
I have no idea. Well, it seemed like half of them were like business people because, of course, and then the other half, yes, were just like
in a fucking rice patty hat.
They were like running around on those like running through the airport with rickshaws. Yes, I don't know.
We're introduced to Boggs.
Boggs is a big old gruff boy.
Boggs, take luggage.
Yeah, he's just this hulking douchebag, and that's what happens. He like yanks her stuff and like makes her carry one of her bags or something, and then just like doesn't say anything really, and just like turns around and just like speed walks, and she's like, "How do I airport?" But they get to the limo, and both these people came to pick her up, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, because usually it's like meet the driver.
Yeah, and then the driver shows you up at your house, but like Richard and Leonora showed up.
Richard was not in the.
He wasn't?
Nope.
Yes, he... Oh, she just talked about him. That's right.
She talked endlessly about him.
Yes, that's right. So it was like he was there.
Let's see.
Leonora's just like, really just talking Rain's ear off. She's very excitable, if I can say that. And,
douched in perfume, it is noted.
I know, but we don't know what flavor. I wanted to know.
I need to know.
I wanted to know what kind of perfume, because we haven't really talked about perfume in a while. Is it lavender? Was that it? Lavender?
I don't
know. So, and she like notices people pushing like shopping carts, and she's like, "Oh my god, Richard hates the boys.
Oh my god, he hates them so much.
Oh my god, why don't they just get jobs and live in houses?"
Yep.
And Rain's like, "Cause they probably would prefer to do that, but okay,
but okay." It's a lot of fucking jibber jabber from little auntie, little auntie,
auntie.
Please make note of the Troy-esque mystery cottage.
Yeah, she's like, that cottage is cute. And like, she's storm cloud.
She's like, don't ever go there.
Don't ever look at lightning striking again. Also, there's just all this clunky slang back and forths that really, really grind my gears. They're annoying to me. Because like, Leonora will say something and Rain's like, meh? And she's like, oh, it means this. And I feel like it's just the most basic.
Yeah. So we got some other help. The butler's face was long with a narrow chin, so far below his lip, it looked like it was slowly dripping away as he grew older.
What?
I thought he resembled a man who had once been so terrified by something that fear seized his features and froze them in this look of habitual shock.
That sounds terrifying to gaze upon.
Yep. We also have a maid with, of course, a small bosom.
She looked to be, her small bosom looked to be no more than a pair of pre-adolescent bumps.
That's a barf emoji you get.
It is a barf emoji. Not the barf one, but the throwing up in my mouth.
Okay, great.
Emoji, yes. Not out, just in the mouth. Still contained.
Still contained.
Yeah. Woof.
I noted nothing about this house tour, really, except for house tour is a feasting ground for dust, which I thought was weird.
Yeah, that's what Rain was just like, Jesus, there's so many knickknacks. Like, how does one maid take care of this entire freaking place? It must be so dusty.
But there's, like, this whole fucking story. I didn't care.
Yeah, I don't know. Her auntie was like, you better not listen if anybody tells you a ghost story about things. And guess what? No one ever fucking mentions it.
Oh, P.S., by the way.
Yeah, like Rain might bring it up and they're like, no, we don't talk about it. I don't know. And she's like, yes, apparently the first master of this house had a mistress. And then it made it seem like they put her in like a very secret room somewhere. It wasn't that secret.
Much like you would.
Everybody. Yeah.
Hi, sorry.
Oh, hi. And then she did a baby. We don't know if this baby was actually ever born.
Look at how
actually.
much I don't remember any of this. There's mention later about like the mistress whisper, but this whole story is like fresh in my brain right now.
Yeah, it was something about like the obviously the mistress got knocked up and can't have that for people to know. And then like Aunt Leonora was like, apparently she was locked up in a room somewhere in the house. And then legend has it that the wife poisoned the mistress and then went mad with guilt and committed suicide.
Foxworth?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But we also don't even know if like this baby ever happened, where it went. I don't know. It was really kind of fucking clonk.
And
clunky.
maybe Rain is staying in that room. We don't know. Question. Like it's like that would be the next step in this horror book. But like it was like I don't know.
No, that is the room. They were just like,
Oh, they
don't
were?
you know what happened in this room? But it's just like in the servants' quarters.
Which are, as you know, grody.
They're so grody. And as you know, what is it, dank ass, shit ass rooms? Yeah, dank shit ass room. Like, she talks about like the floor being kind of like wet. And like the window won't open. But that's not a hidden goddamn room. It's in a hallway with other servants' quarters.
There are other rooms.
There are other rooms.
Cool, blimey, these accents, eh?
I love Mrs. Chester. She's like, oh, we got a yank over here.
What does she have?
An ample bosom with rolling pin arms. Love it. Miss that. Like, apparently all cooks have to have rolling
cooks.
pins arm. Because if you
No.
because if one rolling pan is dirty, you can just use your forearms.
That's like some
rolling
strong
pan. A
bread.
rolling pan.
That's a bread making arm.
It's a bread making arm.
Let's see what else we got. Oh, and
Yeah, Mrs. Chester kind of has this idea that in America black people are lazy, and what is she asking Rain about?
I thought you were on the dole.
Yeah.
And Rain's like, I'm sorry?
Yep.
She's like, aren't you all on welfare?
Yeah, she's like, oh, that's what I heard, that every single black person in America...
Is on the welfare.
What? Cool.
You said that she was feeling class conscious?
Yeah, she mentioned something about feeling class conscious, but I guess I don't,
Exactly, remember.
yeah, I guess I don't remember what it was, but I just, enough that I thought it was weird that she was feeling class conscious, because I don't think any of our, like, dirt poor to diamond rich protagonists ever kind of...
Had that single thought.
Yeah, again, like, Heaven, when she went back to the holler, was like, no, let's do our factory here and, like,
Yeah.
give people the jobs, but...
Oh, the gerbs.
The gerbs, but yeah, I thought it was really bizarre that, she was like, oh, what's a greengrocer? Get out of here.
Get out of here. Yeah, so she's like, I need to have a jet lag.
Yeah, pardon me.
One jet lag, please. Pardon me.
Yeah, she falls asleep. Like, it's very clear, very fast, like, you need to help with all the meals, and, like, you're gonna set up and clear down, and you're so lucky to be here. Not from the end fields, but
No.
from bogs, really.
And I was a little confused at the beginning, which for me is, duh. Because I was confused about all this work. I thought it was going to be like a dawn at the, whatever the fuck, Meadows situation.
Oh,
But
yeah.
no, she has like days off and she gets to her classes. So I was like, wait, what are her fucking job duties? It's like breakfast, dinner.
Yeah, it's just, basically
Okay.
serving.
Breakfast, dinner.
Yeah.
Okay, great. I
Setting
was
the
like,
table, serving the food, clearing the table, helping with dishes and stuff.
Okay. I'm glad for her.
Peeling a random potato.
Yes.
Just
getting a
kind
banger.
of kitchen support
Getting
for
a
Mrs.
banger in the mash. Okay.
Yeah. Kitchen support for Mrs. Chester, whereas like Mary Margaret does more like maidly stuff.
It's very maidly.
Very maidly.
But she sleeps through fucking dinner service, which no one told her what time it was to do on that day.
No. Again, nary a mention really of what time it is ever when things happen in these
She
books.
just arrived.
But it's just very interesting. It's always like, oh my god, like what time do they eat? What time is this? Yeah. But she just like kind of pops in to say hello or something. Into the dining room. That's when she sees great Uncle Richard for the first time.
He's real tall, even though he's sitting down.
That was so weird. She was like, yeah, he looked to be about like 6'4". He's in a chair. How the fuck you gonna know that?
He's 10 feet tall somehow.
He could have had a really long torso and like a 20-inch inseam in the waist, in the pants.
don't know.
In the waist pants. You don't know. That's so weird. Could she see his legs? They could have been like just like when the little kid has their little swinging legs because they can't touch the floor in a chair. It could have been that. I don't know.
Yeah. Fucking handsome as fuck, though.
Yep, stately silver fox moment.
With a what?
pinky ring.
Wow.
Hello.
Hello.
On the same hand as his wedding band, which I thought was interesting.
He
clanging around.
apparently, he fucking loves England and hates America, I
my
guess.
God.
And hits her with, like, the colonies and says, you people would have fared better. He's not wrong, by the way. England abolished slavery far before. The
Yes.
US, FYI.
But still, like, don't hit people with a you people.
Yeah, he did say you people.
And then there's like this really weird vibe. Like they mention a lot about like he kind of had a look and then he shifted his look and then had a look at her and a look. And I was like, let's
distant gaze.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how this plays out. But also, like, I would be probably fine living my life not knowing how it play out.
No hot water.
Nope, no hot water on the servants, Lou. She just has to, like, freaking ice bath her, pits and vagine before school. It's like, that's how I picture it.
Splashy splash.
Yeah.
There's a bit of, like, and this happens a few times, and we never know what or why or whomst. It was like, was someone creeping around my room? Was someone in my room?
Did someone softly touch my cheek? Guess what? We don't know.
Is it a ghost?
We don't know. It's either her brain saying that those things happen because of the stupid story, or there's a lurker. We never find out if it's drafts or ghosts or actual people.
Or is it Boggs? We don't know.
Is it Richard? Is it Leonora? Is it Mrs. Chester? We don't know. Is it a person off the street? Never find out.
Is it one of the pores?
Could be a pour.
Could be a pour. I just found it weird that, I don't know who said it, everything's organized by the day, even the meals.
I think that was Rain just being like, what? You guys have times for things? Very scheduled. Richard's pissed off that, like, Lenora didn't bring Rain immediately to the bank to get her, like, check that grandmother gave her, like, transferred into pounds.
That was a really weird...
He was like, hello, you don't know how to use the tube? And then he's like, a fucking child can figure it out. She's like, I could probably figure it out, but could you tell me?
Yeah, can you tell me the first time?
And he just, like, throws a tenner at her, and he's like, I don't know, walk down here.
He's like, take your tube money. She's like, I haven't been on the bank yet. And he's like, he's so, like, put out that he has to cough up $10.
Yep.
That he's like, well, this should have happened yesterday. Oh, I have to go into my pocket and get a bill of money.
He's like, goddamn Americans are so lazy and stupid.
Fucking idiot.
You fucking colonist.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's drama school time.
Yeah, and we have, like, a nice teacher. There aren't any dick teachers in this school. I feel like there's usually, when someone goes to a school...
So like a dictator?
Yeah, a dick teacher. Yes. Dick teacher. But, like, Mr. McWayne is, like, just psyched that she's there. He's just like, hey, come on in there.
The voice teacher is a bit prickly. The penguin?
Yeah, Professor Wilhelm is his name, and she notes what he looks like.
His fingers were so thick, they looked glued together, webbed like the hand of some amphibious creature. What?
That's a shitty thing to say about somebody. Like, either you're concerned and, like...
Yeah, fat fingies.
Because you know what? If he had webbed fingers and he's playing the piano, good on him. You learn to live with your difference ability.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But no, that's just fucking rude.
That's just
Sometimes people got a pudgy hand.
Upon entering the school, we're introduced to these friendly French twins.
They're great. They're just, like, bustling around, and they're like, oh, you are no, Sherry?
They have to go to their electrocution lessons.
Yep. And she's like, you mean elocution? He's like, yeah. She's like, are you guys dancers? Like, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, who knows? I love them. I wish that they
have one of them joueurs de vivres.
Joueurs de vivres. I wish they'd been written as twins. They're not. They're like sisters who look similar, but I always want to call them twins.
You know what? Didn't I?
I don't know. No, you said sisters.
I said friendly French twins. They are twins.
They're not. They're not. Mm-hmm. They're just sisters that look alike. Two girls in black tights. They looked like sisters. They never say that they're twins. Never.
They never don't, though. That's not a mutually exclusive. So anyway, so upon her little tour of the...
Très bien, I am Catherine, and this is my sister Leslie.
I mean, P.S., by the way, if it's her twin, it would also be her sister.
I know, but she would probably say, twin sister Leslie,
all right.
You realize this by looking at us, no?
So they're going on a tour, and they come across the whole singing studio, and whomst do she find?
Randall Glenn. He is a handsome chestnutted...
Oh, he's got chestnuts.
Yeah, he does have brown hair. And like, oh my god, he's got cerulean blue eyes.
What's his shape?
His shape is the shape of all the boys.
Quote unquote, nicely built.
So nicely built. So we're assuming broad shoulder, narrow waist.
Yes, tapered.
Taut hips or sits or similar.
It's always narrow hips. Like a tapered pant. I don't know. Something's tapered.
Yep.
Your penis is tapered.
Oh, yeah.
What? He's a Canadian singing boy.
He's just like resonating deep baritones or similar.
There's also different hair colors, FYI.
There are. Sometimes people have strawberry blonde hair. Oh, and then what do we got making its return? Fucking flaxen.
Fucking flaxen hair.
Yeah, she gets introduced to a girl named Fiona who's pretty nice, who we never see again.
Sarah, who is a pill, comes back a little bit. Not a super anti person, but a little
super anti-person.
like a competitive for roles type.
Yeah,
of
she's
but
just like
that's only sprinkled in amongst the drama.
Yeah, it's
of her
interesting
life.
that like I feel like Niederman taking a break from writing a long book was just like, oh, finally I have room to do all these things. No, you didn't. There's a lot, like there's really not a lot going. We don't get a lot of vignettes about the school. Not very many, like about classes in particular or anything.
It's about the family drama.
No, I know, but it still could be both. Like, there's a lot of, I don't know. It's just interesting. There could be some, like, more references, I feel like.
There's another Philip, the nice dancer.
Yeah, he's a dancer boy.
Everyone
He's pretty
hates
nice.
Sarah, by the way.
Oh, yeah, she's awful. She's horrible.
Randall is a handsome hero boy.
And, like, maybe he doesn't, does he realize how handsome he is?
He's so handsome. He's so good looking. He's so humble.
Shumble.
Oh man, Rain has to take like a little voice check. She bungles
The
part
scales.
of her evaluation, but knocks it out with amazing grace.
Of course. But after, like, being, like, the piano guy, Mr. who was he, what? Wilhelm.
Mr. Fingies.
Mr. Fingies. She was like, I know this one. He's like, nope. And, like, apparently they went on for 3 hours of being like, this one? He was like, nope. And then she's like, Amazing Grace. Like, you've got it. And then she went immediately into the intermediate class, which means, like, oh my God, so impressive. And we never really know much about that again either. Yeah, it was just really weird. She's like, I couldn't do the scales, but I freaking arethered the shit out of Amazing Grace.
If I can say that.
If you can say that.
Rain asks about hot water, and Boggs says it's more than enough. But
And then she's
Auntie
like-
to the rescue.
She was like, there's literally not been a drop. And then he's just like, it's enough for me. And then she's like, not me. And then Auntie was like, yeah, like women need to fucking wash their vaginas. Like, basically. And she was like, women have more needs in that department.
And our feminine pussy parts need to hose this fucking musk off. You know, like when you have the hose in your garden and you put it on like jet stream?
Or you don't have the hose tip and you just put your thumb over it.
I'm thinking about the jet stream really
No, I
hard.
know.
I was going for... Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I don't know. I was just thinking about hoses.
These are my delicate lady vagina parts.
Randall's really cool to Rain, and he's kind of explaining things, and he's like, she's like, how long have you been here? He's like, a couple months. I visited with my folks. I'm like, I'm a nerd who doesn't have friends, and I just read a lot. Apparently, he's just reading like pamphlets, though.
Yeah, he just reads pamphlets. Rain stands up to Boggs a bit, and the other help just cannot with that. They cannot.
I know. I wish that.
Can I get a little more why in the information in the story? No,
I think it's just because he's like a stoic, and also manners. I don't know. Manners are like you don't talk to the master of the house's first man. I don't know.
Grandma Hudson calls. Lenora is like jealous of the relationship, and she's like, "Let me fucking listen into your conversation."
She's like, "Why are you guys giggling? What the heck? Are you talking about me? What? What's so funny? What? My sister? What? Why does she like you?"
Yep.
she
Pacemaker
rules.
troubles. She took a tub. And, like, the door was... She was like, I knew I closed the door, but then it was open. This never gets circled back to.
No.
Never.
It could.
She was like, maybe it was a draft. It was kind of drafty. Did I close it all the way?
Who knows?
Who would fucking know?
Again, there's just this, like, in the background eeriness of, like, ghosts, perhaps? Scoobily doobly.
A great scoobly doobly.
Scoobily doobly.
The great scoobly doobly.
But for some reason, usually we find out, like, what the creepiness is, and it's not.
It's not that.
No, it's not that. So I don't fucking know.
So there's a shadowy figure heading for the cottage.
Yeah, she can apparently see it out of her window.
This is your first guess here.
Yeah, because it said like there was a man and like a childlike figure, and I was just like, oh, probably Richard and Mary Margaret, because they keep talking about her being like super childlike. And And I don't know, it's just like shadowed heads behind a gauzy curtain.
Yes,
They
there's like a
deeper.
flickering, a fucking can. I know I forgot the word can. A
Fucking
candle.
wax stick with a string in it.
One of them strings you light on fire. So
Tampon.
Are there? You know what? We'll get back to that. So she has a little not date with Randall, and she goes to tell Lenoriora that she's gonna go out, and it's a fucking weird scene.
Yeah, she's knocking on the door. She doesn't answer, and then she kind of like peeks in and sees her like in a rocking chair by the window holding a baby doll. Also, doesn't really come back.
Not come back.
Like there's a moment later on where
she's weird.
Rain is in the room and does see the baby doll, and it's kind of quite large, like almost the size of a child.
It's weird. It's a weird vibe.
But there's no like.
What did you? It says, "Gee, there are a lot of references to being a slave."
I think. I think maybe just the fact that Rain is like helping out around the house, and like there's expectations for her to do a good job, and like you can't leave until your stuff is done. I don't know. She just goes like real
heavy-handed.
Yeah,
on
like
thing.
in a couple, like within a few pages, she's just like, oh, just like a slave, and I'm just like, I don't
feel the best about it.
like I guess you can say that, but Niederman, you can't say that, and also I don't feel like Rain would say that because she's got better context for.
There you go.
I don't know. It was a weird random thing to have pop up. Oh.
Let's see. So we have a day of sightseeing with Randall.
She's fun. Does some fun voices.
He's a bit of he's one of those guys, you know. She shares about her life and the projects with Randall, and she's feeling angry about it, and she said because he's like trying to relate, and she's like, you can't fucking relate to me.
Yeah,
like, that's it. Because he's like, oh, I know things too, and she's like, you don't fucking know things. And quote Rain, suddenly his white bread world annoyed me,
which I like as a phrase.
Mm-hmm. And then they have like a whirlwind afternoon, and then a cozy pub. And the beer Randall had makes him even more talkative. That sounds annoying as fuck.
Which she's 18, so she can get a beer. He says he forgot his ID, so they would not give him a beer. But then there's like a sing-song happening in the pub.
Oh my god,
and he's just like,
rollicking song.
And he joins in, and everyone's like, hey, give him a point there. Hey, give that lad a sippy. He's
got to be on his tippy.
He deserves to wet his whistle.
Like it was like a Muppets movie.
It was great. If it had been, I would have been more excited. But like, yeah, apparently these freaking dudes are just being like, hey, I'm doing a song in the pub. And then he's just like, I'm also joining in with my voice. And they're like, hey, blimey. Cool.
Oh, blimey.
Cool. Oh, good one.
They have like then he's like, let's do a thing tomorrow. Like, first of all, chill the fuck out, buddy. They make plans for tomorrow, have a little smoocher.
He just does a quick one, polite.
It's a polite smoocher.
Yeah, and then what the fuck?
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
And then she's like, I saw the curtain twitching upstairs. What? Oh,
yeah, she sees a curtain upstairs part, and there's like somebody with like long blonde hair or some shit that she sees. Guess what? As far as I know, no mystery people in that house, because she had just seen Mary Margaret leave.
Yeah.
And looks up and she's like, I know it was Aunt Leonardo DiCaprio.
Aunt Leonardo. Okay, so here's a couple interesting things that happen in a bit. So you question yourself, did their child maybe not die? What makes you think that? Because the blonde-haired lady, did she not die? That would have been a really fun fucking twist.
Yeah, like maybe her defect was like hard on them, so they like locked her away from like germs and things.
P.S. by the way, VC Andrews in real life. Mm-hmm. Oh my god!
Yes, so maybe it was just
that
like
cool.
She was so delicate that they were like, no, we can't like lose you. Maybe there was a fake die. Mm-hmm. I don't know, but no, that we
also
no idea.
Richard is going on about deserving to be knighted.
Yeah,
that was a weird.
We don't know why.
What's page 117? You wrote down page 117.
Oh my god.
Things that reminded Rain of Mama and Benny. And then you said needs.
It was just like, again, so honky. There were so many things during the day which had reminded me of Mama and Benny. A black woman with her little daughter in the park. Some black girls laughing and walking on the street. The sounds of hip-hop coming from a boombox. A black mannequin in a storefront window dressed in a pantsuit similar to the one Mama used to wear. All of it conspiring to make me melancholy. Not just like families.
Black ladies.
She's like, oh my God, every black thing I saw. And I don't know if that's something that happens, but I don't like, if I'm sad, I'm not just like... Wow, the only thing that reminds me of the thing I'm sad about are things that look exactly like the thing I'm sad about. Because in London, there's a lot... Like, it wasn't just like there was a little girl that looked just like Benny. Or like, I don't know. It was just, again, just really honk.
So, Unky Richard gives her some tickets to the theater.
And he's like, no big deal, I give them some money. It's not a big deal. They're really good seats, though.
But it's not a big deal.
Is it Hamlet?
Macbeth. There's a lot of chat about Mary Margaret needing a bloke.
Yeah, like
in the kitchen chat.
Mrs. Chester's like, it was something about like a roll in the hay would...
A decent tumble would grow her up overnight. Oof. And Rain's like, that's shitty. Does she even have any friends? She just kind of like goes to work. She's like, hey, Mary Margaret, do you want to go to a play? And she doesn't want to go so badly she breaks a dish.
And then runs away.
So,
and she's like, I guess I'll invite this handsome boy that I'm flirting with.
She goes out to have more plans, and the French sisters are charmingly catty, but not really. They just
have like a lot of sass, and they like laugh about it. They'll be like, oh, are you so wound up? Maybe you want to have this sex?
And one of them says to the other, like, you wanted the render, but you don't want to. And she's like, I would just like to do this fuckings on him.
Yeah.
And then she's like, maybe I take him from you. Yeah. Do a fucking.
Maybe we all share.
Maybe we all fuck.
Yeah, like almost immediately, like, how you get this?
That's right.
How you get this handsome Canadian boy? Been trying to throw ourselves on him for days and weeks.
You get his little Canadian bacon, if I can say that. So
he wants to maple syrup all over you.
All over your ice hockey rink, if I can say that. Oh my gosh, she's down. She's down. She's flopping like a fish. They do say to her, you shouldn't just lay back like a piece of meat on a platter. And I've notated that this is another woman is meat reference. Meat on a hoof.
Meat on a hoof.
And have there been others that I don't remember? Listener, I'm asking you to submit this in essay form. Mm-hmm. Have there been others that I've missed? And perhaps more in the future. We don't know. But if someone could go back and read everything else that we already talked about and tell me if anyone is referenced as meat, that'd be great.
Yeah, I don't know, because I feel... Well, yeah, maybe we just the meat on the hoof reference, like...
It was so
wrote
wild.
that one down because it was like, what?
French twins. Oh, so they go to eat, and they're like, we need to go get some wine. And she's like, and Rain's like, what? And they're like, how do you eat without wine?
How do you eat without wine?
You have a wine and cheese and bread every day. Yes.
Yeah, I love that. Oh, because when she shows up to have the another afternoon with Randall,
they're like,
the girls are there.
Too.
And he was like, I said that we were going. Like,
and she's like, we're not dating, so it's fine.
Well, I thought Rain was like, yeah, let's all go out and have a day. Which I like that very much, too. Like, all of this talk where the girls are like, we want to also honk him. She's, like, not pissed about it. Yeah. Like, she's just like, nah. Yeah, she's like, okay, whatever, you guys are crazy. But yeah, they have, like, a wine and cheese and bread picnic. And I was just like, yes.
And there's some, like, mistress talk, and they're like, our father has a mistress, it's fine.
Oh, because, yes, they're like, how did you get these tickets to this play?
Are you his mistress?
An older man.
Honk, 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 honk. And then Rain is, like, mortified, which is very much just, like, Euro v, like, Puritan America kind of vibe, I think, in general. Yep. And they're like, well, my father has a mistress. She's so nice.
Yeah, she gives us things. Our mother does not care.
And it's this,
love it.
It is this, and then she's like, am I a femme fatale? And it's this virgin whore, femme fatale v loose woman.
Yeah, because the sisters say that, like, that's what they want. Like, they want to be femme fatales. Like, oh my God, I just want to, like, wrap men around my finger. It's amazing. And Rain has this thought of just, like, I kind of, like, don't feel like they're being skanky. Like, there's something about the way they're
questioning this, like...
Yeah, exactly. This idea of that you can just be like, no, I know what I have, and I'm going to fucking work it.
Fuck.
Just want to fuck.
I just want to fuck.
Like, it's great for everybody.
So then Rain's like, perhaps I should have a love. She considers, perhaps I should have a love affair.
I am in London in the summertime.
So here, okay. So Rain invites Randall to the play after trying to invite Mary Margaret. They're gonna get ready. They're gonna get ready at the boarding the boarding area of the dorms.
Yeah, and there's like one bathroom to the floor, but none of the people on his floor are there at the time.
Yeah. Why doesn't Rain just get fucking dressed in the bathroom? She goes to she's like, the fucking water pressure here is tight and it's hot. Fantastic. I didn't take a shower.
I think it was because...
I know we need the scene, but...
No, because there's only one bathroom and he needed to go in. So she took a long time and then was like, oh, I'll get ready in your room while you take a shower.
So...
She didn't have to be in the bathroom for longer.
There's robe-on-robe bedroom time.
We're just like...
There's a lot of, under-robe touching and a smoocher. Randall is respectful and he's like, whoa...
Yeah, because, he's starting to poke.
He's... Feel a little poke come through on you. You don't know
Oh.
Hello.
Yes. It took me to
yeah, so he does. He's like, oh, my bone on. Let me get that out of the way.
He's like, whoa, let me wank this over here.
Let me chikwang it.
Let me just tape that to the leg real quick.
Rain is head up. She was like, I kind of did not want you to do that.
She was like, wow, but I'm kind of glad because I would have just been like, yeah, let's go.
It is notated, if they touch while dressing, they will kick into a passionate embrace. And Randall's like, oh, I'm sorry. And Rain says, which I enjoy, it's a refreshing take, it's fine, we're both adults. If I didn't want to be here, I wouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Love.
So they go to the play, and what do they hear at the pub that they go to?
People are someone's ordering
a slamp on a chample or something.
Yes,
something as fucking stupid
basically.
As that.
And Brain's like, "What is this?" And he's like, "Oh, it's mockney," which I've never heard it referred to that. I've always heard it referred to as Cockney rhyming slang. It's when you say apples and pears instead of stairs, or my trouble and strife is wife. It's the second word rhymes with the thing you're going to say.
He's like, it's mockney. It's so new. Everyone wants to talk about old fashioned, but they jazz it up. It's called mockney.
Yeah, no, that's Cockney rhyming slang has been around since forever, and that's why we have names like Bill, Dick, Bob.
The old Bill, Dick, Bob.
No, for real, because they were just making fun of people's names. They're like, Will, Bill. Did you know that? Yeah. That's why, because you're like, how do you get Bill from William? Billiam? No, it's from Cockney rhyming slang.
I really wish that I hope there's someone out there named Billiam. What happens after Rain goes
Billy
home?
short for billiard, huh?
They have little Eatons there, and what happens to Rain?
What happens to Rain? Oh, they're just have a nice time after the play. She's like, oh my god, actors. And then all of a sudden it's just oh god, I'm glad I left when I did because I had to go fucking destroy the bathroom at home.
What the fuck?
Just a random aside where she has all these shits and passes out from shits.
And then
she's like, fucking fish and chips.
What the fuck is her name? The cook?
Mrs. Chester.
Mrs. Chester's like, oh, you got the old fucking whatever she says, oh, you had some bad chips, some home remedies. Went to a shitty pub. What was the point of this scene?
For shitting.
Neves
was like, it's been a while since I talked about someone
blowing out a toilet.
Speaking of, I wrote a haiku about my own shit this morning.
Okay.
If you'd like to hear it,
you will.
Please comment below,
and you will hear it.
And I will share it with you.
Uncle Richard gets angry eyes when Rain tells him that she took a boy to the play, and we get some hormone chat.
Yeah, he's like, be careful with boys because you're I don't know, your pussy's like an engine that's gonna drive you in.
And she could crash. You pussy engine.
Yeah, all of a sudden he cares about that? What? You don't fucking care about that.
Sir. So,
and their whole relationship interaction, his idea of her, never really becomes clear, what
Very
the fuck
much.
he's...
Right.
What his angle is, why he would be upset that she would go with some,
That was never
explored.
A vibe.
Yeah, it was, but for no... we don't know.
No.
It was weird. She made some allusions to, did I remind him of someone else? Did she?
there's a point where Auntie was like, "Oh dear, Heather had a cracked and shattered heart," and I was like, "That's not a medical diagnosis." But then right after that, it was a genetic heart problem.
Yeah, that was actually mentioned in the last book, Grandmother Hudson, when she was talking about her sister and Richard.
Details.
I know.
So after seeing Macbeth, Rain is like, I am fucking pumped to do acting.
Yep.
Did I?
Sick.
Sick. She gets the role of Ophelia in Hamlet.
But not like the full Hamlet. It's like a it's like a variety night. Yeah.
Whatever.
So it's just a scene when Ophelia goes mad. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So Rain comes home and she's like, dee, I got the part, boo, 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 boo. And then she's like, the fuck? Like her room has been tossed. And then Boggs is like, I don't know, like maybe she goes to ask
And he's like,
Richard.
see the man of the house.
Yeah, whatever.
Study, whatever the fuck it says.
So Richard is like, basically saying Victoria wrote him a letter saying that she noticed a diamond brooch was missing and it hadn't been missing before Rain moved in.
Yep.
But of course they didn't find anything. And then Richard's like, well, just so you know, if you steal. And she's like, I don't fucking... And also, side note, Richard, Mr. Enfield, what the fuck would I do with a diamond brooch?
Yeah, do I know where to hawk this here?
Why would I bring it with me? And also, never follow it up on. We don't know if it was actually missing.
No.
We don't know if it was found.
And no one points out via this letter, Victoria's like, don't ask Grandma Hudson.
Yep.
Don't tell her that I'm asking, which is like, sauce.
Yeah, because it's not fucking...
I know.
It's so random.
Rain uses the term person of color. How modern.
I know, I was actually surprised. I was like, all right, Niederman, like, that's the one.
Why did I write Boggs Flog?
I have no idea.
Okay, great.
He hit someone? He didn't hit
He
anyone.
was like, I don't want to get flogged by Boggs. And I was like, Boggs Flog.
Oh, that's probably it, yeah.
We also notated the same thing about the thing that Randall says about Rain.
He's like, Rain, you remind me of a rich mocha sundae.
They're getting a little comfy. They're getting a little comfy, if I can say that, in a bed type of situation.
Yeah, they're back at his room.
Smoochering away. And, quote, something about something shifting his hips to find a comfortable position. Graphic.
Yeah, and then she's like, do you have protection? He's like, nah, that's fine. And she's like, it's not fine. And he's like, don't worry about it. I won't let anything happen.
I wanted to push him away, but passion, blah, 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 blah. And there's a graphic pullout scene.
But, like, then she does kind of push him. She's like, no. Because he's just like, don't worry if I jizz. Jizz is fine.
Jizz Death Opinion. My name is, what's your name? Jizz Death Opinion. Welcome to the stage, Jizz Death Opinion.
Jizz Death Opinion. Jizz Death Opinion. Yeah, he just, like, comes all over the bed.
He just fucking comes all over the bed. Yeah. He's like, I wish I could find the wording. He, like, expended himself. Like, exploded betwixt my legs onto the sheet.
Yeah, basically that. Finished himself. I don't know.
He finished himself. He came.
He came hard.
And then he's like, look at my rubber johnnies.
Yeah. Well, no, that was like later.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, sorry. Let me read your notes. So, he jizzes on the bed after she tells him that he needs protection. Afterward, Rain, still nude, explains her wacky situation to Randall and proposes the old Katie's favorite subplot. Yes. Which is the, like, who is your daddy and what does he do?
That's Katie's favorite subplot.
I mean, I didn't say it was my favorite. It's just the most often.
Well, I don't know. I just remember you being so excited, like, that was going to be, like, the direction that Wildflowers went.
Just because I was right.
No, but, like, it was, but it was not.
Anyway, so they go to Piccadilly Circus with the sisters. And there's carved hairstyles of punk rockers. And the sisters go to a rock and roll show.
Kids. Hey,
kids.
Hey, kids.
There's a first few Larry calls.
Yeah, they try. So he's like, "Hey, I found a bunch of Larry Wards," and they just try to call them.
He gets wicked fucking pumped.
And the first few Larry calls were a bust.
So yeah. So I don't recall. Rain's real father went to London. Because obviously I don't remember really the details. Was this talked about earlier?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, Megan had mentioned it. She was like, "This happened," and I guess he like
went
off to the Londons.
Yeah, Randall's like, "We can find Daddy Ward." Because how many black guys or American black guys are here doing a Shakespeare? And Rain says she doesn't want another devastating scene. And Randall's like, it'll be fun. And she's like, I'm having too many emotions. I really don't want to do this.
Give me a minute to think about this, please.
And he's like, no, let's go.
And he's like, kind of the last parent that I met was shit to me a bit.
Yeah, it'll be fun. We'll just go pull some names out of the phone book.
So for some reason, I don't know why, but for some reason, like they bring up...
They're talking about their past, and because he's so handsome, and she's like, I bet you had so many girlfriends.
Oh, and he was like, no, I only, like, kissed one person once. And she's like, oh, yeah, girlfriend? He was like, no, my cousin. Who like.
And I was like 15.
She's like, she pretended like she had to do it for science class. P.S. Look what I got in my hand. It's a handful of rubbers that I got. Well, you and the sisters were, like, off in a different shop. I went and bought, like, a pocket full of condoms.
Then he calls Johnny Rubbers or whatever.
Johnny Hats.
Yeah, just slide in that cousin kissing there, Niedermans. Let's see. Shadow at the front door. Randall says that she tastes like cotton candy.
Ugh. Ugh. Oh, because he was just like, oh, the kiss of my cousin was like so gross and like dry and hard. And then like he gives her a smoocher at the door again, and she's like, was that horrible and hard? And he was like, no, Ren, tastes like a cotton candy.
Is that your Canadian accent?
I don't know.
What do they call that Olympic sport? Swiffering? Curling.
Swiffering.
Okay, here we go. So it's cottage time.
Hockey,
it's cottage time.
Yeah, so she's like about to go in the house. She hears a weird thing. She just hears a weird thing, a rustling. And notices candlelight in the forbidden cottage. So she's like, all right, what the fuck? Let me go see what this is. Like, okay, I'm done. I hate fucking secrets. What is this?
I'm done.
She hates secrets. So she goes out, scrambling over there and peeks through the window, and there's
It's creepy dolls.
Just all creepy dolls, like
It's
sitting
just
around.
all creepy dolls. And she gets busted by bogs.
Yeah, he like clompers his hand on her shoulder.
Get you out of here.
He's like, what you doing?
I'm pretty sure it's written like W-O-T. Like,
Yeah, what?
So Rain is insistent that someone lives in the cottage, and Mary Margaret is very sketchy about it.
Yeah, and Mrs. Chester also very sketchy. Everyone's just like, blah, 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 blah.
What's a cottage? There's no cottage here.
What's a cottage? Oh, God. Yeah, I don't know.
So, by the by...
But then, like, so after she gets back in her room after this creepy cottageness, there's another one of those things
Was
where it's just like,
someone in my room?
there was a sound. Was it footsteps? Was it not? Was my door open? Was it closed? Was I touched? Was I not?
And she's
Okay.
like, I want a fucking lock on my door.
Yeah, and then Great Uncle Richard finally is like, okay, right. But then they had to call a whole damn locksmith for that.
I mean, Uncle Richard doesn't seem like a handy fella.
You have to call a locksmith for a doorknob.
Yeah, you do.
No, you send out Boggs to get a fucking
Oh, I
doorknob.
don't trust Boggs.
Well, I know, but Uncle Richard does. Calling a whole damn locksmith for a lock on a door. Just some screws and a slidey bolt is all you need. And then it was just like, did Boggs have one of the extra keys? Guess what? We don't know.
Don't fucking know.
We don't fucking know. He gives her a set of keys. She gets a set of keys. So apparently this doorknob maybe came with 18,000 keys. Because she's like, do you have a key, Boggs? And he was just like, what? We don't know.
Let's see. Randall was pretty sure he found Rain's father on not much evidence.
No.
He's like, I found a guy named Larry Ward, who was a black guy from America.
He was like, I called, and she was like, could you tell he was black? He was like, I'm not sure. It's like, did he sound American? Not really, kind of. I don't know.
So
Let's go stake him out.
Yeah, so she's like, I am not ready to attempt this meet, but Randall pushes her into it. And I ask if this is some kind of subtextual, women are hysterical / emotional and men are decisive kind of bullshit.
Maybe a little bit, but I mean, I think that Randall's more like kind of ignorant than anything. And this like Rain situation is so outside of his like world that he grew up in, where his parents are like together, and he's just like,
why wouldn't you?
I think maybe he just like kind of caught up in the novelty of it. Like, I don't think necessarily to be unkind, but just like,
Yeah.
his brain is just, his synapses are like, whoa, let's fix you.
Yeah, so he's like, I'll just pretend to be someone looking for someone. And he goes to knock on the door, and the woman who answers possible daddy's door has an angular interesting face. It's all angles. Right angles, left angles.
All the angles.
All angles.
Literally angles. Yep. So then they like kind of just keep lurking. They see a man leave with a little boy, and they're like,
broad shoulders, naturally.
yeah. And they kind of follow him for a minute, and then Rand's like, I can't fucking do this anymore. I'm gonna run away. And then later,
Randall cannot with this. He's like, why won't you just go talk to him? And she's like, I just fucking can't right now.
and he was like, but just so you know, I know where he works. I have
all of this.
school info. Let's go.
There's a letter from Roy. Again, possibly opened and resealed. Never come back to.
No. I thought it was weird that he said, Roy wrote, just see, because he got one of her letters. He said, just seeing your handwriting put your face in my eyes.
Slide it in there.
That's a clunky way of saying I thought of you.
Slide
I
it in.
imagined what your face looked like. And then I just hated it. I fucking hated it. There were two moments that I had to actually put this book down. And both of them had to do with Roy. Because he was just like, remember that time when...
You're my girl. Remember when we were growing up together?
Wait, what page is it?
You wrote mid-page 188.
188. I just read that as 118, and I was like, that's not correct.
But while she reads after this, Rain wonders what she can do about the Roy Love situation. Like she can do anything. Like this is her task. This is her task to do.
He writes and says to her that he has her picture up in his bunk or whatever, and when anyone asks who she is, he says, you're my girl. You always were and you know it. Sometimes I just lay back and remember and think about you growing up, especially the way you turned those eyes on me. That's when I had to put it down. It's like, no, she fucking, like, no.
No, she did not.
No, she did not. Of course, I remember one special afternoon when I told you what you really meant, and, well, I can't even write it, but you know the afternoon I mean.
Nudgy titty.
The afternoon where she was like, please, no.
Please don't nudge my
Please
titty.
don't do this. Ugh. And he's like, yeah, this is my favorite.
It's my favorite memory.
Gross, dude.
Anyway, Rain sleeps through dinner and the house has an abandoned vibe. What fucking time is it?
What time is it? She's like, I slept through dinner. What time is it? We have no idea.
So the whole house is abandoned, but not the cottage. And then I just wrote, what?
She was like, I took a bath, I was gonna like sleep, and then I noticed a flickering, and I was like, all right, now I'm really gonna go fucking check it out. So there's like, she goes like a scooching and a boochin over to the cottage, and Katie, what happens? What does she see?
Uncle Richard reads
she peeketh
to a cosplaying Mary Margaret.
Yep.
That she is like their child. It's like reading like a little kid book. She's in the bed
with a huge lollipop.
Huge lollipop, which you should not eat before bed. That's
gonna
be bad time.
Especially with her delicate heart. That's sugar.
Oh man. Yep. And then she's like thinking about it, and she's like, I guess it would be. So you're like, maybe he pays extra for that, which made me fucking laugh.
Yeah, and it was really weird. And he's just like, good night. And she's like, good night, Daddy. And then like
he leaves, and she just pops up and like.
And then she gets up and she's like, I'm gonna put my real clothes on. And she leaves, and it's like, what the fuck? And then, by the way, it starts like pouring.
Oh yeah. And then she's like in her wet robe. I don't know. It's fucking weird. Anyway, so showcase so good, y'all.
Yeah. She did great. It was one of those moments that every protagonist has when they're nervous, and then they're like, and then all of a sudden I was swept away in the thing, and I was really the person, and I soared upon the wings of my talent.
Yeah.
Great job.
Randall is immature and has a big mouth about the Rain Daddy situation, which was very private information.
Yeah.
He told the sisters.
Who came up and they were like,
did you find your daddy?
Let us help you with your issues. And then he's just like, I don't know. Like, I thought maybe you'd want to talk to other girls about it.
To ladies.
Which, I don't know. Like, again, misguided. He's just a fucking dolt. Like, he was very sheltered.
A dolt. I enjoy that. So she's like, I can't handle my feelings. I'm just going to go for a walk. But fate makes her walk all the way to maybe daddy's school. And just slip into a class. Okay. She's like, I'm just going to slide in there. Do lectures.
Like, I'm going to lie to the person at the front and say, like, oh, I'm auditing a class. And then he kind of, like, called her out almost immediately. He's like, hey, what's up with you, mystery person? I guess people just wandering into my fucking class.
And then she's like, I know about the shaking spear, too. Shake and spear is my favorite dinner. Oh. Shake and spear.
Is it from,
what?
Scary Movie? Shake a Spear?
No.
Yeah, because they're watching Shakespeare in Love at the movies. Yeah.
I don't know.
Shakespeare.
That's really funny. Anywho, so over a cup of tea, Rain finds out that she's been spotted lurking in the neighborhood because she would go do a lurk.
Oh, yeah, because she goes and she's like, I gotta go home. I'm gonna miss dinner. What time is it?
Oh my god, they run into each other at the tube station.
On the same platform. And he's like, hey.
Let's go talk, because I fucking recognize you.
Yeah, like
you're being fucking weird.
Yeah, you're kind of being weird, but like, I'm kind of interested. Like, I'm amused.
I have an amuse-bouche.
And then she's like, look, I don't have a crush on you. And he was like, thank God.
He says, quote, this mystery is turning into a melodrama. Mwah.
It was good.
She doesn't have much forgiveness for new dad.
Yeah, like all of a sudden she's mad.
All of a sudden she was, because he was like, oh man, like Megan was so cool and we were just like young and idealistic. And she's like, you know what, fuck you.
It was really weird. I was like, when did she get mad at him? Like, in this chapter?
Instantaneous.
Because it went from her being like, yeah, I don't know, I'm like, I'm interested in blah, like, I don't have family connections, fair, to like, all of a sudden she's giving him the heat that she never gave to Megan, who like immediately was like not cool about the whole situation. And it was just like, no. And he was just like, yeah, okay, wow, this is crazy. And she's like, I'll just leave. And he's like, no, I'm just saying, this is crazy.
I'm just saying.
So yeah, then he's just like, why don't you just fucking come over for tea?
For afternoon tea.
Just come by. Like, he's just like, oh, you're going to be here for a while? Come visit. Yeah, we should get to know each other.
Let's do this in a fashion.
Like, it was really cool. He was cool. He's been the coolest person who's found out that they had a secret child.
Yes.
I think, in all of the secret children's that have been happening.
You wrote down that it starts pouring on her way back to Enfield Place, and she just shantays through it after realizing she can't get any more wet.
I loved that.
She was like, what am I going to do? Not be wet?
She just keeps being like, God damn it, I keep fucking forgetting that I'm in London.
I'm an umbrella 24/7.
And even if it's sunny outside, I could get rained on later. So yeah, she's like trying to like duck under overhangs, etc. And then she's like, I just realized there was nothing else I can do. So I just casually strolled with a smile on my face, like looking at other people being like, hey, it's sunny outside. I love it.
So Rain writes a letter to Grandma Hudson asking for advice, and then has like a meeting with Richard, and she thinks she's going to be booted for back talk, but instead it's a proposal for the tried and true etiquette lessons in the cottage.
No, because during dinner that night,
yeah, she was like a little sassy.
Yeah, they have guests over, and she's like, no, it's like when I glanced his way, because they were talking about her acting. When I glanced his way, I saw he was still looking at me as if he was considering me for a part himself. Alarm. Braid makes a good sarcasm at Randall about she should have been named Sorry. I thought that was hilarious. He's like, I'm sorry. She's like, my mom should have named me Sorry. So that way if someone said, I'm sorry, I could be like, I'm sorry too. It was fucking funny.
So during this exchange with Richard, he was like, now keep those sassy horses in their stables. Don't like it. Yeah. So Rain decides to forgive Randall for blurting and goes skipping off to the dorms on a Saturday to surprise him. Mm-hmm. Just skipping off.
Yeah, she's like, decides like, you know what? I'm done being lonely. I hate being lonely. I just want connections. That's going to be great. And geez, I hope nothing bad happens when she shows up unannounced.
Naked Leslie is needed to cheer Rain. He's like, I needed Naked Leslie.
Well, she was like, do not be mad, Cherie. I was just trying to cheer him up. Fucking fair. This woman's like not trying to steal your man. She's just also trying to fuck him. There's a difference.
I'm just trying to fuck.
She's not trying to steal him. She just wants to fuck him.
So then...
Whatever.
To put away Heart of Hearts somewhere. Rain has the house to herself Sunday morning, and she's like, I didn't like being a little snoop. But she did go snooping.
Oh, she did.
Was the big reveal that they had separate bedrooms? That was fun.
She was like, oh my god. Like, there wasn't anything weird in Uncle Richard's room. Like, it didn't, like, keep a bunch of old nighties or, like, any...
To Jizzethapin?
No, but that is when she saw... that is when she sees, like, the weird, like, baby doll arm under the blanket in the rocking chair. And she's like, I was scared because I thought it was a real kid for a second. Like, how big is this baby doll?
I thought there was a small dead child.
Yeah, fucking weird. I don't know.
So it's time to go to Larry's. Yeah, it's time to go to Larry's. Yeah. Tea at Larry's is nice. So there's half siblings, 12 and 8. Larry's wife is a poetry. Father has a perfect family. Leanna is his wife.
There's a lot of really close names.
Thank you.
Like Randall, Roy, Rain, Leanna, Leonora, Richard.
Oh.
Like what?
Boggs. So when they finally kind of get a mome out in the garden to look at the flowers, Leanna's like, you're a very pretty girl, Rain. Like, what?
And then gives her a hug.
Yeah.
It was weird.
And she's like, Rain is always welcome in the garden, and you're always welcome in my garden.
She notes that she's sees Leanna kind of sizing.
She's like, what the fuck?
Sizing her up, looking at Larry and looking at Rain and being like,
What does Leanna share with everyone?
apparently she's a poet and she reads a clown
Fucking clown poem.
Someplace published this.
It was about a happy homeless clown. I don't even fucking know.
Yeah, it was about a homeless clown. He makes everyone happy all day, but then he crawls into his cardboard box. But he's richer than anyone because of the smiles and joy. Why?
And Rain is weeping at the end of it.
Oh, was she weeping? I thought Leanna was weeping. There was weepage happening.
It was seepage and weepage.
Seepage and weepage was happening.
Oh my god. So, it was great. Larry is like, this is really funny. He's like, come look at my ancient books to bore the children. He's like, all right, look.
Yeah.
And he's like, I didn't tell anyone, but I just kind of wanted to. He's like, Leanna's not fucking stupid, but I didn't tell her. And then the kids walk in, and he's like, yes, this ancient tomb.
Yes.
To the garden and the clown poem children.
But it wasn't even just it was listen, just so you know, I am going to tell her about stuff. I just thought we should all meet. Yeah. And I have no intentions on pretending that you don't exist.
Yeah.
Which is so cool.
Yeah. I just enjoyed as soon as the little ones. And he's like, yes, this first edition of the thing.
The Dickens.
Of the Dickens. There's a doings afoot upon Rain's arrival home.
What does that mean?
So when she was at home, she was like, it was a weird vibe.
Oh,
and
because I thought I read a doings and I think doings,
humpins.
Yeah, a humpins and a dumpins.
Humpins and a dumpins. Gross.
That's what happened with Rain and Randall. They had the humpins, went to the play,
and she had the dumpins.
Had the dumpins.
Dumpins out her butthole. Leonora is sick in bed with some kind of weird allergy.
That goes away immediately.
Yeah, the fluffy pillars are so fluffy.
Pillars.
And she's like, my words are vegetables in a blender. Okay.
Whatever.
And then she was like, my sister says you should call her immediately. Call from this phone.
Yeah, call from this phone here. She's in the hospital. Call her. Call her from my phone. Yeah, this one right here.
This one right here. She needs an artery balloon. And...
Meanwhile, in the background, Leonora's like, I might be really sick. Tell her I might be really sick. Tell her it might not be just allergies.
Yeah.
So that was hilarious.
It was great. And she's like, so I got your letter about the things. And she makes sure to tell Rain that you'll always be resented. So don't bother.
Well, she's afraid that she's like, listen, she's like, I don't see any of this,
turning out well for you.
Yeah, eventually, maybe it's great now, but, I don't know, I just see trouble in the future. She's trying to protect her, I think.
Guess what time it is? It's cottage time.
No.
So the cottage had a little revamp. Can we talk about the cottage redecoration?
It was really weird. So obviously all the dolls are gone.
Of course. It's like a faux young lady's apartment.
Kind of. Yeah, it's weird. And the bedroom had kind of been updated, but there's the wallpaper with all the freaky cartoons is still there, but oh, there's a normal sized desk now. What? What? And Richard keeps being like, well, since you're an actress...
He's like, you might be taken advantage of by a shady director. So we have to role play.
That's the first thing we're going to do. We're going to pretend like this producer saw you in a thing, and he wants you to read for a part.
And he's going to be creepy, and you got to figure it out. Now let's find an outfit. And she's like, none of these are my size. And he's like, I just went and bought them. And she's like, they're fucking dusty as
She's like, there are faded tags on these. Where did you say you got these? I just fucking got them. I don't know.
And he was like, just pick a garment.
She's like, I can't even pretend to put my feet in these shoes. He's like, whatever, go barefoot. And then he's like, I got you everything I needed. She's like, cool, there's this drawers full of underwears and bras. The fuck?
And then he's like, now, do your makeup like you're an adult woman in this situation. and says, he's like, but don't be too heavy-handed with the makeup, because obvious women are usually not taken seriously. It would be subtle.
Subtle. And then I'm gonna go outside and knock.
And I'm gonna be the guy who's being creepy. A wide stretch of the imagination.
He wasn't even
here.
pretending like he was gonna be creepy at that point.
He's just gonna be a guy.
Yeah, he's just gonna be the guy. And so like then there was all this weirdness where like
It's like shades of daddy lessons.
But then he'd like talk out the side of his mouth like, now's when you should invite me in. And yeah, it was just, I don't know, he just kept being like, oh, maybe you shouldn't have sat right here.
Maybe you should offer someone some wine.
And she like thought it was a joke, but there was like actual wine, and she was like, okay.
Get me some fucking wine.
Ew. And then, yeah, he pulls the old cat's dad on her.
Yeah, so there's practice. Okay, so he's like, okay, I'm here to audition you. Read this. And she's like, it's a fucking love scene. Yeah. And there's a hard, non-consensual smoocher. The dress is pulled down.
Because it won't zip.
Yeah. There's lustful eyes back to fatherly eyes, then calling out dead daughter's name as she runs off.
Running out, he's like, Heather!
What the fuck?
Oh, man.
Then we cut to old Mary Margaret Jellybones.
Yeah.
She collapses as though her bones were a jelly, and she may not be back ever.
Because, like, the day before she was homesick or something, like, Mrs. Chester was like, oh, she went home with one of them stomach bugs. And I was like, oh, I know what stomach bug means in a Niederman book.
The bug is a fetus.
Yeah. Fetus bug. Ugh.
Oh, she preggers. And how dare Rain not know the slang that old Mrs. I can't. Chester was using. She's like, what are you, a dumb dorse? But, like, she's like, she got a crimble and a Crodger. And she's like, I don't know what you mean. Someone went a spoozin' and a coozin'. She's like, I don't know what that means. And she's like, she got a squeaking and a beacon.
A squeaking in the beacon. She's like, a man, whoever he is, he was a Johnny. And
Then she's like, oh, I know what that is.
Oh, I know that one because of the handful of them.
But still, she could be, are you a dumb Doris? A squingle and her bingle. So she goes to Mary Margaret's depressing ass house.
It's bad. She's like, I'm walking up these stairs. The railing is falling away from the wall.
I can just hear all the other apartments. It could be like a project. Mary, her mom is stout and heavy-breasted.
Yeah, and
they weigh a ton.
She basically lives
and is blind.
Is just a blind dog. And she's been like,
she's like blind as a dog.
One of those. I was just picturing cloudy eyes, like it's.
You know, when the dog has a big cat or ass.
Yeah. And she keeps being like, Mary Margaret, do I hear you upset? And she's like, Mom, go away. Mom, I said I don't want tea.
And Dwayne's like, I would love some tea. Oh, so good. Where were we?
Yeah, and like, I thought,
Rain gets all up in Mary
idiot.
Margaret's fucking business when we all know who the dad is. She's like, who's did creamed in your Crodger?
She's like, are you gonna marry the father? When I read that, I was like, what? Like, Rain, I thought you were there for the reason that I would be going there, which is to be like, what the fuck did he do to you? Are you okay? He being
Creamy Crodger.
Creamy Crodger the Dodger.
Crodger the Dodger.
Who ups the snuff on her muff.
What? I don't know. I love that for you. By the way, her Mary Margaret's small fist is grinding her tears. He's making me have it. She has so many questions, and Rain hasn't figured it out that it is Unky Richard. At least she wasn't cosplaying as his daughter when he did her.
Yeah, he said
because
he also made her dress in things them dancers in them clubs wear. What a stately, refined man he is, that Uncle Richard.
Yep.
He doesn't go to clubs. Someone might see him in there.
And then, holy shit.
Yeah, like all of a sudden Bob shows up.
Yeah, there's a clumpies. There's a clumpies.
And she's like, I know those clomping boots.
And then she's like, who told you to come here and fetch her?
Yeah, and then she's like, you get out of this house. You can't bother her here too. And he was like, that's me daughter. And then, ring, ding. Yeah, did not see that one coming.
For once, he got you.
He got me. Did he get you?
Yeah.
Oh. You're talking about me being the one.
No, I mean, usually I'm just along for the ride, so a lot of stuff I'm like, oh, okay. Everything's a surprise when you can't remember shit.
That was a big one, though. I was like, what the fuck?
And then he's like, he's like, she's a fucking idiot. All she's good for is, like, getting cream in a Crodger. So at least she got some rich dude's baby and can bring some money in. So
You don't even know how hard it is to be a guy.
a non-creamy Crodger. Yeah.
And then Rain kind of has like a sad thought about him. She was like, "Oh man, he like sleeps in the servants' quarters though. Like, man, like I'm never gonna be
not in this depressing ass house
in a relationship with like I'm not gonna be married to a dude that doesn't sleep next to me."
Anyway, baby's a cash cow, and it's time for Roy to visit.
But also,
That's it. That's the end of that story.
that's the end of that story.
We don't come back to, I think, any of those characters. Maybe Boggs.
but
not Mary Margaret. Not
So
the storyline.
maybe in the next book we might find out what happens with this baby, because it seems like, oh no, it's fine. We're just gonna sell it to him. Does fucking Leonora know about this shit?
No, she's gonna get like support payments. This is a cash cow.
No, but I thought that she was making like she was gonna have it for him. Oh, but maybe he would just come visit. I don't know.
No,
I don't
think
fucking
that
know.
I think that the money coming in was for the baby. That it would be the rate. Who fucking knows? Kind of lost the thread on that one.
Either way, though.
Hey, Roy comes to visit. Hey, Roy comes to visit.
So yeah, Rain comes home and there's a call from Ken. No. From Larry leaving a message saying like he told Leanna everything.
And she wants to get to know you.
Please call whenever you can. And then Roy will be coming over around 4:00 tomorrow. And she's like, yay.
So what is this? I didn't even get this about Rain having a mature and realistic relationship with Randall.
Because Randall's really upset that Rain won't talk to Tim.
He is.
And then he's like, fuck, I didn't really mean to have the sex with Leslie, whatever.
Oops.
And then Rain just kind of like gets over it and she's like, I don't need to be mad at this guy, whatever the fuck. And she sees him walk away. Yeah. So like, and this is really like one of her last interactions with Randall in this book. So I watched him go, imagining that someday he would be a singing star. I wouldn't be beside him, but years from now we might meet and smile about it. A smile only for a brief moment. What? I can't read my own shit. We might meet and smile and only for a brief moment remember. For now we were more like two comets passing close enough to linger in each other's magnetic fields for a few seconds of eternity before moving on toward other worlds, other destinies. And I thought that was great. Because she was just like, yeah, he's gonna go do his thing. We're not gonna be part of each other's lives forever. Like, that's such a not teenage girl perspective that I love. You know, she is
like, 18 now.
She's like, I'm like, we met at school. This is a whirlwind thing. He's a cool guy. I'm not gonna let him break my heart because he doesn't matter at the end. Like at the end,
this
like,
moment, yes.
Like he's a guy that I spent some time with.
I did a fuckings with.
Did she even though? He basically just like slammed it in and then came everywhere. No, that was it.
Okay.
Yeah. He slammed it in and then jizzed on the bed.
The whole slammin' jizz. You actually wrote that Ken has the classic taller, broader side effect from the army.
Yep. You mean Roy?
Yeah, Roy. Richard, I wrote, is uncomfy with Roy's presence. For some fucking reason, he's uncomfy.
Oh, and he doesn't, like, no one acknowledges anyone's presence anymore. Like, Boggs isn't, like...
Well, now that you've seen how I live.
Yeah, but he's not, like, more of a dick to her there. And then, like, Richard pretends like he didn't do what he did.
So Rain politely declines the offer to start their own family.
Yeah, he's like, come on, let's just...
She was like, no, thank you. No, thank you at this time.
Roy says something about, like... He basically is just like, yeah, but if Ken wasn't such an asshole, then Mama wouldn't have died. Like...
That's not how... Is that how cancer works?
That is not how cancer works.
Is that how cancer works?
That is not how cancer works. Great. You can't just, like, rude somebody into cancer. I don't think.
I don't think.
I'm not a scientist or a doctor.
Let me preface this. I am not a doctor. Roy is very accusatory regarding a Rain boyfriend situation. She's like, look, you're always going to be a brother to me. And he's like, do you have a boyfriend?
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I mean, that's kind of irrelevant since you're my brother, and that is how I will feel towards you.
Yeah, she's like, I kind of met someone, but like, no, like, I'm
not really.
I need to do stuff. And yeah, Roy, in all of these conversations, basically like, Zoe's been a long enough time that you can start thinking about getting horny for me. And then she's like, my guy. And then she's like, man, I feel so bad that I can't. Why can't I just make his dreams come true? Stop it.
And then she's like, let me walk you back to like your room. And he's like, I never got around to booking a room. And she's like, you can sleep on the floor.
And then he's like, can I just watch you sleep? Because I did that.
Remember when I used to watch you sleep a lot?
He's like, I used to do that tons of times in DC and you never knew about it. And she's like,
Ugh. Also, she was like, he's so nice. She was like, she was like, I couldn't believe that Ken's seed had produced this. And I was like, I don't like that phrase, seed.
Gross. I know.
I wrote, what the fuck is Roy jabbering about? He's just like going, he's having a word diarrhea so that he can just slide her on in.
Yeah, that was, again, like part of this. This was the second time that I had to put the book down for a while. I was like, in the middle of their exchange of conversation.
He's like, what if we just met like for the first time? He's like, hey girl, where you from? And she was like, oh, I guess I'm from DC. Like, I don't know, whatever.
He's like, can I just like hold her? Can I just hold you? And she's like, sure. She feels like bad. And he's like, remember that time when you didn't stop me? And she's like, my guy. Oh, I hate it.
Nope. These nippy kisses.
Hate it. He was like, listen, if we just did it once, we have to do it once.
You gotta try it out?
We just have to do it once, and then we'll know. And she's like, I kind of don't need to find out.
I feel like she got into the fuckins.
I think she got cajoled into the fuckins.
No, but then this is classic, like, waves of passion.
Yes,
like,
because you're full of hormones, and this is someone that
they're in the driver's seat.
Yes. Crashing.
Her poussoir.
Yes. Her poussoir is on cruise control. No, but I think that it's more like...
I don't even know what that means.
But that's a real thing. Like, your hormones are tricking you. Like, this is someone that you felt like... She kept talking about, like, I'm so happy to feel safe again with somebody. He is not treating you like someone who would keep you safe right now. He is fucking sweet-talking you.
Manipulating you.
Into the fucks. That you are clearly saying no, or at least give me more time to not feel this way.
Almost immediately after, Roy's like, well, we didn't do anything wrong. I mean, it wasn't wrong.
I hated it. And then, like, she says bye to Roy, and she's like, all right, well, like, everything's probably gonna be fine now. Nope.
Did he go AWOL to see her?
I don't know. I wondered that, too.
She was like, well, I mean, you only have, like, a day left on your pass, right? And he's like,
I may have stretched it.
Because he's like, did you have a pass? And he's like, don't worry about it.
Yeah. I don't think that's how that works.
That's AWOL.
Usually you don't just, like, go back and you're like, yeah, just try to fuck the girl I used to think was my sister.
Yeah, so Grandma Hudson dies.
That sucked. Like, she gets pulled out of school, and then she's, like, on the way home, like, to Mr. McWayne was like, hey, I'm really fucking sorry to tell you this, because, you know, him and Grandma Hudson, they're pals.
They were tight.
And then she's like, why did they send for the limo?
Yeah.
That's weird. Like, why didn't they let me finish school?
Yep.
The
truth is out with Auntie and Uncle, and they were like, you were a true blood relative spy.
Yeah, it was weird.
Spy for what?
Like, fucking bitch-ass Victoria, like, moments after her mother dies, is like, Richard and Leonora, just so you know.
And Richard's like, what was Megan thinking, having a child with a black man?
Yep.
That's gonna look...
I thought Leonora said that. Doesn't matter.
Who fucking...
Yeah,
but Richard was... They were very concerned about their position in the society, and that there may be a black man in the mix now.
Leonora is hysterical. Like, at one moment, yeah, Raina's like, listen, I loved Grandmother Hudson. And Leonora's like, Grandmother! Because she, like, can't believe that they're married. Also,
there's a relative of another race.
Yeah. Also, Roy was supposed to meet Rain at the end of the school day. Of course, she's not there because she went home. Mr. McWayne's like, blah, blah, blah. Roy shows up and he's just like, maybe, I mean...
What an opportunity.
What if we just get married and you come to Germany? And says it again, like, there are plenty of married people. They do okay in the army.
Like, that's not the issue.
Fucking leave her alone, please.
Oh my God.
Please. You know what? You found out. You did it. You had to see. And she was still like, no.
And after that, did it anyway.
Go away. No, that's what I'm saying after the... Yeah.
Big oof for Randall's feelings, because she's like doing his apology, and she says, you know what, we didn't get involved enough for you to make all these apologies. We were not dating, you are not my boyfriend, so I guess eat your apologies. Like,
yeah. And she was like, I kind of felt bad for being cold, but like,
that is what it is.
I loved it, because you know what, that's true. I love that she didn't bend over backwards to be like, no, like, don't, like, no, she doesn't need to comfort him.
We were not this involved for all these apologies.
I love it.
So Auntie and Uncle and Rain have to go back for the funeral, and they get there, and Victoria has, like, papers everywhere, all over the dining table.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
She sees Jake, and that was really nice. Jake comes to pick them up, and she finally gets to see, like, lock eyes with somebody who's, like, really devastated about what happened.
Yes, he seemed to actually care.
Oh, she did very much, yes. Okay, so I just wanted to say that. And he was just like, hey. And then like the Enfields were kind of like put off by the fact that he was like
the bags.
He was like treating her nicely, and he greeted her first. They were like,
Monocle's popping. Monocles are popping.
Monocles are popping.
And then so Victoria has papers everywhere because she's gonna figure out a way out of this whole Rain inheritance situation. And she's like, I don't even know. There's no help. And they're like, no maid. How will we eat?
How will we anything?
Yes. So the fam's coming with like half sister. Allison's gonna stay in Megan/Rain's old room, and Victoria's like, you can stay in the maid quarters.
She was like, I'm sure that'll be fine. And Rain's like,
I'll sleep there, but I am not a maid.
Yeah, but she was also just like, the room that I stay in is kind of not something that I give a shit about right now. Which I thought was awesome. And then like Victoria's like, oh, how sweet. Fuck off, you fucking clumping hoe.
Half siblings still don't know about Rain, but Megan had to tell Grant about the because she was in the will.
And you know what? He seemed to be like kind of there's like another one of those moments where like Rain is just herself and someone is just like, oh, I thought I would judge you, but I guess you have sass that I kind of admire. And all of a sudden, Woots' face isn't a dick to her anymore. What's her brother's name?
Enchilada.
Enchilada. Yeah, Enchilada is just like not being a dick anymore. He's just like, oh, hey, that was cool. So that was cool that he wasn't like...
Yes, but they don't know they're half siblings still.
No, I know, but like last we heard of him, he was like, I can't believe that you didn't let me fuck you.
Oh, boy. So Megan says to her, she's like, let's go for a little walk. And she's like, look, here's what it's going to be. And you'll find this out at the reading, but like, here's what it is in the will. 51% of the business goes to Rain. The remaining 49% is split between Megan and Victoria. L-O-fucking-L.
That wasn't the business, though. That was the estate.
The estate.
And then she owned half of the business.
Okay. Yeah. And then so Megan's like, I talked to Grant. Here's what we decided. We're going to offer you like a couple mil.
$250,000. Just $250,000.
That's not that many.
$250,000. Because she was like, yeah, like basically it's like over $2 million just in stocks that give dividends. That was just like a piece of it. And then she's like, $250,000.
Just walk away.
And just walk away.
You can be your own person. You don't need any of this drama.
Let's not go to court over this. It'll be so bad for like everybody. And then Rain gives a thought and she's like, I don't fucking hate these people. Maybe it'd be better if I walked away. And then she was like, you know fucking what though? No.
Because she did this for a reason.
Yeah, Grandmother Hudson decided this. I love the shit out of her. I'm not going to disrespect her by giving in to these fucking bitches' wishes.
Yeah.
And so she was just like, nope.
And then there's a little bit more. I think Grant tries to talk.
He's like, how about $500,000?
And she's like, no.
And she's like, nah, man. And then he was like, respect.
Because she was like, aren't your children's gonna know? And she's like, they won't be in the reading of the will. So she's getting a huge chunk of the estate, and they have no idea why.
I don't think they wouldn't even need to know that she did, though.
Oh, but whatever. Oh, she's involved and she lives there. She's gonna live there.
Well, so she doesn't. They don't even know. I mean, they wouldn't know. They never go there, so they wouldn't know that she was in the reading because they weren't there. But she does. Rain talks to her lawyer, Grandma Hudson's lawyer, and he was just like, "Listen, just so you know, I was fucking in the room this whole time. Victoria has nary a leg to stand on when it comes to this shit because your grandmother was fucking fine.
Yeah."
She's not gonna get anything like, listen, which I really liked. He was just